version, the computer version. Sounds so old school. So I picked it up and tried out just one game to see how it all worked, and it seemed pretty good. So I thought it could be fun to play a couple of games together. So there are a bunch of packs, skins, and DLCs and things that you can buy. But I'm just gonna go for the classic one, and who knows, if we really like it, maybe trying out some fun skins is on the cards. I don't know what Ultimate Detective is. It sounds pretty fun. It says, experience a fresh twist on Cluedo. Designed for players who seek a more challenging and immersive deduction game. That does sound fun. I think we'll start with the classic version. Oh, more options. Standard. Okay. Let's see. We have got the green one. Oh, they all have titles. Normally, like Miss Scarlet, Professor Plum. Not sure what that one is. Colonel Mustard is a big one. I want a peacock. Let me look them up quickly. Okay. So this might be different for different places in the world, but we have Miss Scarlet. We have Professor Plum. Yep. We have Mrs. White or Chef White sometimes. Reverend Green, and another Mrs. Peacock, which was updated to, I think, Solicitor Peacock, which makes sense. The guys all have cool titles, and the women were originally stuck with just Mrs. Sure. I think we'll stick with Reverend Green here, and we'll leave it on medium just to begin with. So, just in case you're not sure what Cluedo is, the concept is that you and a bunch of other people were invited to a dinner party by Mr. Black. And at some point during the night, Mr. Black was found to be murdered. And you are going to travel throughout the board to visit different possible locations, possible scenes of the crime, in order to try and find out more about where it happened, who did it, and with what weapon. So we're going to be going around the board into each room, and we will say, I think it was, as an example, Mrs. White in the conservatory with the lead pipe, for example, and then the other players have a handful of cards that match the locations, the characters, and the weapons. If they have that card, then that wasn't part is not the criminal. Mrs. White has an alibi. And the goal is to try and figure out the character, the weapon, and the location that no one has, because those are the ones that are involved in the crime. So, it involves some deduction based on, for example, what other people show, and what they show you, of course. But that's the core of the game. So, we have 3 cards ourselves. One is Mustard. One is Colonel Mustard. We have 2 locations, which is kind of lucky: conservatory and the dining hall. So we know that those are not part of the crime. I'm gonna go ahead and roll. We only got a 4, so we're not gonna make it into any rooms. From up here, we'll go ahead and wander across there. I love these 3D boards. They're always fun. I do always think that it's nice to have as many locations to begin with, because the locations are the hardest kind of parts to get to, and you need to be in that location. Oh, okay, white, but mustard could help. Oh, I see. It's marking them off for me. I thought I turned on an option where we could mark things off, but that's okay. Yeah. So Miss Scarlet has made it into the dining room, and she has suggested that it might have been me, Reverend Green, with the candlestick in the dining room. Professor Plum and Chef White couldn't prove her wrong, but Colonel Mustard could. So that's what the game is marking for me here. What have we got? We have a bunch of icons to use. So I'm gonna say that Colonel Mustard might have Reverend Green, or the candlestick, or the dining room. And we know that Plum doesn't have any of them. And Chef White doesn't have any of them. So we can go with that. When you're playing against real people, I don't know if the AI works the same, but they'll tend to ask for a situation that involves one or more cards that they have, because then they can eliminate the final one by making sure that no one shows them a card they don't really care about, So I'm not sure if we can deduce anything about Scarlet and what cards Scarlet has right now. So I'll continue. And it is Professor Plum's turn with the 6. He's tucked away in a corridor there, so he couldn't make it to a room. Chef White, here we go. We have an 8. Where is Chef White? Oh, only just made it into the lounge. The lounge. And Chef White has suggested it might be Scarlet with a lead pipe in the lounge. Oh. Quite a few people in a row there couldn't suggest anything about that. So we'll go ahead and mark that off. So, Colonel Mustard does not have Scarlet, the lead pipe, or the lounge. Solicitor Peacock doesn't have any of them either. I don't, of course. I have these ones. But Miss just yet, but it's one of these three. One of these three. And we'll continue. Colonel Mustard with a beautiful looking beard and mustache. Oh, and cool dice as well. I'm sure we could get cool looking dice if we paid for them. He's made it to the conservatory though. And is suggesting it could have been Scarlet with a revolver in the conservatory. And we have one to show him. We have the conservatory to show. We can go ahead and mark off though that Peacock. Oh, we'll show him something. I can't click just yet. Okay. Peacock doesn't have the revolver. We already know. We already know that Peacock didn't have Scarlet, and Peacock also doesn't have the conservatory because we do. Anything about that? So, for example, if this were a real player, I think we could kind of reasonably assume that Mustard has the revolver, because we know he doesn't have Scarlet from a previous guess. We have the conservatory, and so normally people would ask for something involving a card they have, rather than just like shoot in the dark. But I don't think we can assume that there. So we'll just continue. I'm looking at these question marks and I'm thinking I might swap them to reds. I think that green we could use as a, maybe it is that. Or no, I think that's fine. What could we use for? No, I think we're overthinking it. I'm gonna roll the dice. Peacock didn't move far enough to make it into any of the rooms. So, we are currently in the dining room. We got brought in as part of a guess. So we can actually make it to quite a few rooms, or we could stay. Let's see. The turn order does matter quite a lot, because if we knew, for example, that Miss Scarlet had the ballroom, then if we went to the ballroom and guessed, Miss Scarlet shows us the ballroom first, and we get kind of like it's not a very good turn for us. We don't get much information. We have a suspicion that Chef White might have the dining room. So I think if we stay here, that would be good for us. We'll go for the dining room with the potential that when it gets around to Colonel Mustard rather. When it gets to Colonel Mustard, he might show us the dining room. And let's see. I think we could go for something like, I don't really want to do the lead pipe, considering Scarlet might show it to us immediately. How about we'll do the dagger. And I'm gonna do Mustard as the suspect. We know that it's not Mustard, and we know that no one else has it, so just trying to get some information. Suggest. And Scarlet has nothing, Plum doesn't, White doesn't, Mustard doesn't. Wow, okay, that's crazy. So we have just stumbled on two of the things involved in the murder. We know it's not Mustard because we have Mustard, but no one could show us the dagger, and no one could show us the dining room. That's incredible. So we know it's the dagger, and we know it's the dining room. And I can go ahead and mark off all of these, because no one has them. Cross that off. So that does mean that for the, can I put a number in as well? I can. I might need to do that to kind of keep track of when things were asked and in what batches. Of course, we can only get 7 of those. So Colonel Mustard had the ask of Reverend Green with a candlestick in the dining room. We know he doesn't have the dining room, so he now has either the candlestick or the I'm going to put these numbers down as well. The candlestick or Reverend Green. It doesn't matter so much for the weapon, because we know that the murder weapon is the dagger. That was insanely lucky. Let's continue and see what else happens. We could make an accusation, but it'll be a guess. It'll be a guess between all the people, so we'll pass. Scarlet has a do. Where are they gonna go? They're gonna stick to the conservatory. We have the conservatory. Peacock Rope Conservatory. And White is showing them one of them, but Professor Plum does not have anything. Of course, doesn't have the conservatory. And White has either Peacock. I'm gonna put a 1 down to be to denote that it was the first time that they were asked or that they showed something. It's not the conservatory, so it's either the rope or Peacock. Cool. We have quite a big advantage with our lucky guess from a second ago. Plum has a 4 and has made it to the study, a dusty study with some books all over the place. Chef White with a wrench in the study, and he is immediately shown something. Okay, sure. So we can then mark this as the second time. It might matter. Okay, so does that help us at all? Not really. Okay. I think there are a bunch of ways that you could be marking notes on the sheet to try and keep track of as much information as possible. For example, it might be helpful to know how many times someone asked a particular situation. If they keep asking about Plum and it gets a decent way around the board, then you might be able to deduce that either they have it or that they know that it's the answer. But Chef White asked about Chef White with the revolver in the kitchen. Colonel Mustard has one of those. It could be Chef White, put a 2 there. It could be the revolver, put a 2 there. And it could be the kitchen. Okay, let's continue. It is now Colonel Mustard's turn with his fancy snowy dice. He only got a 3 though. So he's going to stay in the dining room and suggest himself with the candlestick in the dining room. And Solicitor Peacock has one of those. Here's an interesting one. We know it's not Mustard because we have Mustard. We know it's not the dining room because not only did Miss Peacock say she didn't have it when it came round, but in fact no one has it. So we know that Miss Peacock has the candlestick. only card that he could have possibly shown was Reverend Green, myself. So we'll mark that off and continue and continue. Here we go. Peacock gets a 7, a 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, and has made it to the billiard room, suggesting Professor Plum with a revolver in the billiard room. Of course, I don't have any of those, but Scarlet does. Scarlet does. So we're going to put a green circle for each of those with a number 2. I guess doing it this way, we better hope that the game doesn't take 7 rounds, but that would be a very, very long game. Do we know? Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. So it's our go, and we're trying to figure out who it was because we know the rest. We'll go ahead and roll the dice anyway to see where we could go. The dining room is a good place to stay because we know that no one has it, so we're not going to get like a ruined guess. Because in this case, we want to specifically find out who it was. So if we knew, for example, that Scarlet had the dining room, we couldn't ask anything because Scarlet's always going to show us the dining room. If we've been shown it before, that would make sense. Unfortunately, we would also have to ask about the dagger, unless we asked about the candlestick, because we get quite a lot of guesses going there. Again, I don't know how smart the AI is, but if you were against real people and you just sat in one room and only asked about one weapon, then they would be pretty sure that either you have those or they had the answers. So I think we'll stay in the dining room. We'll ask about the dagger again, and who would be best, who would be best, who would be best. We know that Colonel Mustard has me, so it's not that. I can scratch that off. I'll do all of those actually. So it could be Scarlet, but Scarlet might have herself. Plum might also have. Scarlet might also have Plum. So White would be one of those. Peacock one of those. I think asking about Chef White might be a good shout. Or I think we might actually ask about Peacock. Might ask about Peacock. It has the fewest number of between White and Peacock. Peacock only has 1 green question mark, whereas White has 2 chances where it could have been there. So we'll stay in the dining room, and we will suggest that it was Peacock with the dagger. Fingers crossed. Nope, not with Plum. Okay, so White has Peacock, but we can cross off Peacock from Scarlet, who it was up for debate. We'll put a tick there for White. I might go ahead and cross off the rest of these as well, because of course, if one person has the card, then no one else can have it. And it helps us to fill in our board. And we'll end the turn. Hopefully we might be able to suss out who has the character in one of the next goes without it coming back to us. I always get a bit antsy because I get the feeling that everyone else is on the cusp of figuring out who it is as well. Okay, wow, so we had a couple of no's there, and it was that Plum. Plum didn't have mustard. Of course we have mustard. We have mustard, and we have the conservatory, so we already know that Miss Peacock, Solicitor Peacock, has the candlestick and is showing that to Miss Scarlet. So actually we don't really get any information at all about that. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Of course, being the final person in the order, if you look at Scarlet and going around the table, it is I'm the most difficult person for Scarlet to get information from. So it might not be a coincidence that she asked for 2 of my cards. But Professor Plum has made a suggestion that it is me, Reverend Green, with the dagger in the ballroom. We know that it is actually the dagger. And Mustard has the ballroom. Mustard has Green. It's very likely that he has shown Professor Plum the Reverend Green card, but there's a possibility that he might have shown him the ballroom as well. So I'm going to mark that off there, but we know that White does not have the ballroom. And we'll continue, we'll continue, we'll continue. It's White's go, it's White's go, and they roll a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3, a 3. They're staying in the kitchen though. For Chef White, that is a perfect place for them to be. They've suggested Scarlet with the rope in the kitchen. Colonel Mustard has shown them something. We know it's not Scarlet. We know it's not Scarlet. It could be the rope. It could be the kitchen. They've already been asked for that and shown something. They've shown quite a lot of people, a load of things, so I'm going to mark those off as well. Mark those off. I don't know how well the AI keeps track of what they have shown people. Colonel Mustard rolls a 3. I feel like they're going to stay. Oh, there's a secret passage in the conservatory to the opposite place in the house, which is the lounge. A very stylish looking lounge. And they are suggesting Plum with the rope in the lounge. And another quick answer, Peacock has something to show. It's not the lounge, so it's going to be either Plum or the rope. It's going to be either Plum or the rope. Let's see here. Solicitor Peacock. Wow, rolled a big old 11. They are sprinting out of the dining room and into the hall. No one's been here yet. That's exciting. I have the hall. So I'm going to immediately show the hall here. There we go. Now it's our go. Right, so we get another chance to try and figure out who it was. We'll roll. Oh, we've been dragged into the ballroom and we can make it to the conservatory, which we know no one's going to show us because we have it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's quite fortunate. I'm going to ask about the dagger though, because I don't want to ruin my specific quest to figure out who it was. We know that Mustard has Green. We have Mustard. Plum has Scarlet. So it's between, no, Plum. White has Peacock. Just completely fabricated something there. So it's between Scarlet, Plum, and White. Technically, Scarlet has been involved in the fewest number of suggestions where something has been shown. ask for Scarlet with the dagger in the conservatory, and hopefully Scarlet doesn't show us anything. Oh, okay, promising. Very promising. Wow. No one has Scarlet. And if no one has Scarlet, that means it's the card in the middle, the one responsible for the crime, and we can make an accusation with very high confidence. I think it is Miss Scarlet with the dagger in the dining room. Everyone hold your breath. Scarlet, dagger, dining room. Yes, yes. We did it. In no small part, thanks to the very, very lucky guess where we got two of the murder items really early on. But we got a big old score of 6,000. We can continue on. Let's see everyone else's clue sheets. Peacock had the highest score apart from us. What did they do? Whoa. Oh, okay, look at that, look at that. So Peacock was actually knew that it was Scarlet, the dagger in the dining room, and they would have made an accusation if it came back round to them. I wonder how they figured out it was Scarlet. It was Scarlet. They had they didn't have any of these, but they were shown. They were shown mustard by me, plum by Scarlet, and peacock by white. I wonder how they figured it out then. I wonder how they figured it out. I'm not sure. It looks like a leap to me. Looks like a leap. They just had a cross that no one had it. I don't think they asked for Scarlet Dagger and Dining Room at any point. Or Scarlet Candlestick and Robe. I'm not sure. I shouldn't be caught up on that, but we'll continue. We'll continue. Okay, so I think we have time for another game. Shall we try the clue cards version? Play the standard version with the clue cards for a fast-paced game. I think that could be fun. And why don't we switch on over to? Honestly, I love Peacock's look. Solicitor Peacock. Oh, it's Mayor Green. We're not a reverend. We'll go with Solicitor Peacock. How do I use her? Oh, there we go. We'll go with Solicitor Peacock and we'll start the game. I am not sure what clue cards are exactly. So, they're supposed to speed up the game somehow. I imagine maybe there are things on the board that you can pick up that will just tell you if it's not something. Or we have 3 rooms, wow. And in Classic with clue cards, you play with an additional deck. The clue cards. These make players do unique actions whenever a magnifying glass is rolled. Interesting. And Professor Plum is the first to play. So, Plum has got a clue card. All players secretly show a card to the next player. Wow. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to pick one at random. Although Scarlet's all the way down here. So I guess we should probably pick one that's closest that she Yeah, we'll do the hall. It's right there. And what do we get shown? Oh, green is showing us the lounge. Okay, cool. We'll tick lounge. No one else has it. Cross, 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 and oops, cross. Okay, I do want to get rid of this exclamation mark there. Okay, cool. So everyone's been secretly shown something. It could be very, very pertinent. Okay, white stone, white stone. They rolled an 8. Surely they can make it to a room with an 8. Yep, they are in the ballroom. The ballroom, the ballroom. They're suggesting that it was us with the candlestick in the ballroom, and Mustard has one of those. Straight away, the suggestion has been stricken. Cool. Cool. Mustard's turn now. I'd quite like to get one of those. 2. What? 2 of them. Anyone holding the revolver card, please reveal it. Oh my goodness. Well, no one has the revolver card, and everyone knows it. That's funny. Oh, interesting. They moved what? Okay. So they moved 2. The question marks counted as 1 each, but we didn't get 2 of the clue cards. That's fine. That's fine. Green is moving on over to the conservatory. That's not one we have. That's not one we have. Plum with a rope in the conservatory. Okay, interesting, interesting. I feel like at this point, everyone knows that the revolver is the murder weapon, so it doesn't really make sense to ask for anything other than that, unless you have it. So, we know that Scarlet does not have Plum, does not have the rope, and does not have the conservatory, but Plum has one of those. If I knew how intelligent the AI was, I would also mark a potential has for the rope, for Green to have the rope, because it doesn't make sense to ask for the rope at this point, but we'll stick with this, So, I think funnily enough we are in a better position than anyone else, because we all know about the revolver. We know that 3 of the locations are not it, and the locations are the hardest parts to get to. So I think we're in a better position. We'll roll the dice though. We get a 9. We can make it to quite a few places. The dining room is good for us. If we want to ask about the person, the suspect, I think we might actually head to one of these other places there. Let's come on over to the kitchen, because I want to try and find out the location as well. We're gonna ask about the revolver. It just means that no one shows us a weapon card, which will be wasted because we know it's the revolver. Plum and Peacock have been involved in answering suggestions, so let's pick one of those that have not been involved. Why not Mustard? Mustard with the revolver in the kitchen. Nothing from Scarlet. Plum has Mustard though. So Plum has mustard. No one else has mustard. Plum might also have the kitchen. We're not sure about that. Might also have the kitchen. But Scarlet doesn't. Scarlet doesn't have the kitchen. Okay, cool. Cool. We can end the turn, end the turn, end the turn. Strike that off. Scarlet here has rolled a 7, and is heading on over to the lounge. Oh, they didn't quite make it. That's unfortunate. Plum's turn now. They get another 7. And they are gonna run on out into the billiard room, where they are going to suggest that it was White with the lead pipe in the billiard room. White does not have any of those, so we can scratch those off. But Colonel Mustard does. Colonel Mustard might have White as a card. They might have the lead pipe as a card. And they might have the billiard room as a card. Cool. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. It's White's turn, and they have got an 8. An 8, an 8. They are going into the ballroom. The grand ballroom. Suggesting it's green with the pipe in the ballroom. That's funny. Colonel Mustard was just asked about the lead pipe. I'm gonna add a 3 there. But they might also have green. And the ballroom as well, which they've now been asked about twice. They have quite a lot of these, but I feel like all of the AI are asking to be shown quite a lot of the same cards. Mustard's going to get a double 3, a double 3. Unfortunately, doubles don't get you anything extra, so they are just gonna take the secret entrance into the lounge, or the study. And they are suggesting Scarlet with the dagger in the study. Green does not have any of those, so we can cross those off. I don't, of course, but Scarlet does have one of those. Dagger, or the study, oops, or the study. We'll get that tick off, because we don't know if that is correct, and we'll continue. So now all of the characters have been involved in a suggestion that has been answered. And we still don't know where. We have Peacock with the rope in the ballroom. And it's got all the way around to White. Cross that off. Cross those off. Okay, sure, so one that was involved in Plum is now got a cross, that's helpful. So now they either have Plum or the conservatory. Cross those off as well. And White is showing them something. And it's either a peacock, that's me, the rope, or the ballroom. Loads of people have been asking about the ballroom, so I feel like chances are it's probably not that. Just statistically. Okay, so here we are. We have rolled a nice and high 9, and we can move to a load of places. Let's see. So I don't really want to ask about the ballroom. That's okay. We weren't shown anything to do with the kitchen, so I think I might head back into the kitchen. That was when we asked about, I think, mustard. So we didn't get any of those. again. And this time, why don't we ask for green? Green with the revolver in the kitchen. Oh, straight away, Scarlet has answered our question. It was green, it was green. Scarlet has green, so we can cross off the rest of these. Anything to get from there. Anything to get from there. Okay, it's a shame Scarlet showed us that. I really want to know about the kitchen. We still don't have much information, so I'm gonna end the turn without making an accusation. Oh, Scarlet's rolled a clue card. Pick a weapon to be revealed. Just insanity. Just insanity. Plum has the dagger though, so we can tick that off. And no one else has the dagger. In fact, that helped us though, because now we know that Scarlet... Oh, never mind, there's a study down here. So Scarlet either has Scarlet or the study. Scarlet or the study. Green has these two. And didn't show that one, didn't show that one. I'm wondering if we can cross some stuff off here for green. So we know two of the cards that green has. It's mustard, or plum rather. Mustard and the dagger. And they also at some point answered a suggestion that involved plum, the conservatory, and the kitchen. I'm not sure actually if I have messed up on my notations, but this kitchen is the only one with a question mark in the two. So if I was doing everything right, it would be the kitchen that Plum has as well. But I think what it does mean is that we can cross off the rest of these. At least. Oh, I remember. I remember now. It was because that was when I asked about mustard, revolver, and the kitchen. And Plum showed us mustard. But Plum might also have had the kitchen. Okay, I remember. I think maybe I should put a 2 there so I remember. Okay, cool. Let's continue. I feel like we're pretty close. We're like one or two guesses away from getting the answer here. Scarlett's asking about the kitchen. Interesting. Mustard, which Plum has. So not much to be learned there. It's Plum's go. We know the most about Plum's cards, so that could be helpful. Pick a suspect to be revealed. Plum is choosing white. Scarlet has white. So we can tick that. Let's see here, no one else has white, so we can cross those off. I'm gonna scratch that one there. Scarlet has white and green. And maybe Scarlet or the study, it's one of those two. So I can cross the rest of these off. I know that Scarlet doesn't have these for sure. Could be the study, could be Scarlet. Getting a lot of crosses here. There's actually only 3 more suspects that we don't know anything about. So if we found out about this Scarlet, that would be very, very helpful. Continue that. And Plum is making a suggestion in the billiard room. Green, rope, billiard room, and white is helping out. White doesn't have have green, we know that. White doesn't have the billiard room, we also know that. So white definitely has the rope. And that's why you shouldn't be asking about this weapon, because we know the revolver's in the middle. So I'll take that. I'll take that, and that means no one else has the rope. Great. Scratch that off. Great, 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 great. It's white's go. It's white's go. They're gonna roll a clue and a 4. Clue and a 4. Pick a room to be revealed. This could be good for us. The billiard room which no one has. If no one has it, that means that it is the murder location. And we've also crossed off 2 of Colonel's second showings. So the final one is definitely it. I can tick that. No one else has the lead pipe. Cross that off. So now we are just thinking about the character. My suspicion is it might be Scarlet. But I'm worried that one of these computers are going to make an accusation. Because all of us know that it's the revolver in the billiard room. So if someone has figured out who it is, then they have the answer. Plum, candlestick, ballroom, and green has one of those. This is the first time that we've seen green show anyone else something. But they have shown us that they have the lounge. Okay. Okay. Green is gonna go next. Green is gonna go next. They rolled a big old 11, and they're gonna head on over to the ballroom. The ballroom, and they are suggesting green themselves with the wrench in the ballroom, and Scarlet is showing them the green that we know they have. So, no information to be had there. I always find it funny in Cluedo how people can suggest themselves. If they're investigating the murder and they were the suspect, why would they suggest themselves? But it's all part of the game. We'll roll the dice though, and we have a 9. We have a 9. Okay, we can't make it to any of the rooms that we know are 100% safe. So that is awkward. That is awkward. Where's the door for the dining room? I feel like we're so close. Let's see what could be best for us. I want to try and figure out whether, for instance, Scarlet has Scarlet. So I'd like to accuse Scarlet wherever I go. And so I want to pick a room that will get past Scarlet. So the ballroom makes sense. We know that Scarlet doesn't have the ballroom. So if we suggest Scarlet with the revolver in the ballroom. Scarlet does not have Scarlet, Plum doesn't, White doesn't, Mustard has the ballroom. So we can cross that off. We can cross that off. That means Scarlet does have the study, it's the only other one with the 1 next to it. So we can cross all of those off as well. And scratch that. Mustard is showing us the ballroom, so I can tick that one and cross all of those off. Any other ones that we don't know? Any other ones that we don't know? Okay, 2 here for green, so one of those ones. Scratch that off. This does unfortunately mean that Mustard might still have Scarlet. But it's a low chance because he also has the revolver. Oh no, actually I'm looking at this. Oh, okay, no, that's fine. So this was 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So the first time that Mustard showed something, it was one of either the ballroom, the candlestick, or peacock. So we can't, it could have been the ballroom that he showed, and he might not have these two, in which case we still only know that 2 of these. Right. So if I am worried that someone else might get the answer, I could make an accusation that it was Scarlet. But I think we'll go around one more turn. 9 from Scarlet. 9 from Scarlet. 9. Unfortunately, we can't make an accusation until it's our turn, so even if we figure out who it is before it gets back round, that is not helpful to us. So let's see here. White has shown Scarlet, Rope, and Ballroom. Oh, I'm pretty sure I should have crossed this off. We know that White doesn't have Scarlet, or else they would have shown it to us. What else did we ask for? We asked about the... Okay, yeah, should have crossed that off. White probably, well, White definitely showed Scarlet the rope that they have. Plum's turn, it's Plum's turn. And they got a 7, And they are staying in the ballroom. We know that Colonel Mustard has the ballroom, but White doesn't have green, which we have checked, or the candlestick. And Plum definitely, well, very likely showed the ballroom, but might have shown the candlestick. We're not sure about that. The wrench. Just looking at this, we know the revolver's in the middle, so all the rest of the weapons are in someone's hand. Someone has the candlestick and someone has the wrench. I wonder if we could get any information from that at all. Not sure. It's likely to be Colonel that has the candlestick because he's been involved in 2 that have asked about it. But we can't be 100% sure, I don't think. Chef White is suggesting that it was Scarlet with the candlestick in the ballroom, and Colonel Mustard probably showed the ballroom. These AI are so useless. What? White's making an accusation. No, Scarlet Revolver billiard room. No, they got it right. We were thinking it was going to be Scarlet. I wonder if Chef White maybe knew that Colonel Mustard had some other cards. Oh no, I should have circled Scarlet for some extra points. Let's take a look at some clue sheets. So White solved it. They knew it was Scarlet because they had Plum. They saw that Colonel Mustard had Peacock. Scarlet had White and Plum had Mustard. And they've crossed green off as well, somehow. I wonder if this is just like a leap that they've made. Just trying to see if they had any other way of knowing. Oh yeah, look, it's because because they knew all of Colonel Mustard's cards. So they knew that Colonel Mustard had the ballroom, the lead pipe, and peacock. So they could also say that Colonel Mustard didn't have Scarlet, and they knew that no one else had Scarlet. Oh. Okay, we were very close on that one. We were very close, but we came joint last. That's okay, that's okay. Those clue cards were kind of fun. They were kind of fun, but they, I don't know if we just got some odd ones, but they leveled the playing field quite a lot. All of us knew that two of the murder items, but I had loads of fun. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it relaxing, and I hope that you come back again soon for another one. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me.